Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, or just good day to all you fine people walking around this wonderful planet we call Earth. Welcome to another episode of Recovery is Effin' Awesome. My name is Robo, and my day of grace is May the 7th of 2010, and I am as grateful for that as I know how to be today. Hopefully you got a cup of hot coffee, your Serenity tank is full, you're ready to go out and piss some gratitude and kick some ass today. Happy Monday, everybody. Sorry, get a little sip of this coffee. Before we get going, I kind of want to give everybody an update on what's going on. I just finished a collaboration with Tim and Aaron from No Streetlights podcast. You need to go check them out. Those guys are doing some amazing things. They are amazing human beings. And like we talked about, it's amazing when you are doing good and living the way you're supposed to, how you meet people you would have never otherwise met in your entire life who are going on the same path. And whatever you want to call it, God, Spirit of the universe, divine intervention, has put us together. And, we connected. And within the first 5 minutes of us on our first conversation, it was like we'd known each other forever. So go check out No Streetlights podcast. Also, if you need some good coffee, support BB's Coffee. That's BEEBEE coffee.com. They are not affiliated with this channel yet. They are affiliated with the No Streetlights podcast, but the reason that I kind of want to give them a shout out is because they help this nonprofit organization called 4 Paws for Ability. It's continued training and placing service dogs with children and veterans with disabilities. And I'm going to tell you something. If you can't get behind that, then maybe you need to go listen to Britney Spears or somebody else. So it's bbscoffee.com for your some coffee needs, and go check out No Streetlights podcast because those guys are amazing. All right, back to what I want to talk about today. Today is October 23rd, 2023. It is Monday, first day of the work week, or last day of the work week for some. Kind of depends on what you do. So I dove right into this touchstones. I read this morning. It kind of fits. There's a quote from Abraham Maslow. It says, self-knowledge and self-improvement are very difficult for most people. It usually needs great courage and long struggle. It goes on to say, this is a simple program, but it isn't easy. We cannot take the principles we learn and thereby possess them as if we were taking a class or reading a book. We need to live them. We can only get this program by participating with others who are also on the journey. Gradually, we absorb it into every fiber of our being. This takes time and dedication. The honesty required is sometimes frightening and painful. Any man who remains faithful to this program has great courage and deserves deep respect. But we do not have to wait long to begin receiving the rewards. New freedom, good feelings, and friendships quickly develop. We are promised in this program to continue growing and to receive more benefits throughout our lives. Then it has the question, what rewards have come from our courage and struggle? So think about that. What rewards have you gotten so far? It doesn't matter if you got 50 years of sobriety or you got 5 hours of sobriety, right? If you are doing something to better yourself today, to help yourself be better than you were yesterday, you are on the right path, I believe. Then down at the bottom it says, I will give much to my growth because it gives much to me. And that's what it's all about. Yes, we're sober, and that's awesome. And that is so much better than the way we used to live. However, what are we doing with that sobriety? If we are grateful for being sober, how are we showing that? What are we doing to prove that we're grateful for our sobriety? Right? Are we helping somebody else? Are we supporting good causes and worthy causes that, help people? Are we doing something for someone without expecting anything in return? Are we taking care of ourselves? Right? Because self-care is important. We can go help as many people as we want, but if we're not taking care of ourselves, eventually there will come a time where we will not be able to do that because we have not taken care of ourselves, and basically we're fucked. Here we talk about living comfortably in sobriety, right? How do we do that? Without the crutch of drugs, without the crutch of alcohol. We have to take care of our mental health. for many of us, like myself, drugs and alcohol take us to the point of suicide. I understand the loneliness. I understand the isolation. I understand getting to that point to where the only option that you have is to take your own life. I get it. How do we not get to that point today? Because this is all we got. Buddha Jim, what a great and wise man. He said we have very few days on this earth. He said, how would you live? Not what would you do, but how would you live if you knew that today is your last day? And then he paused a second, and then he said, how do you know it's not? That kind of goes deep, right? How would you live if you knew this was it? If you knew this was your last day walking this beautiful planet Earth, how would you live? Would you treat people a little nicer? Would you call family members and loved ones and tell them you love them and tell them you actually appreciate them? It's a good question. Tough question to answer if we're being real about it. Crazy. Anyway, things are the way that they are. Situations happen. There's a lot we can control. There's a lot we can't control. And how do we deal with all the outside noise? How do we not so much deflect it, but don't let it come inside to where we get so emotionally involved that we that's all we are concerned with. Whether it's Russia and Ukraine, whether it's the shit going on in the Middle East, right? You can have I have empathy for these people. What happened over in Israel was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. What Israel's doing is absolutely horrible, right? But these people have been fighting for thousands of years, and they'll probably continue to fight for thousands of more. So I cannot let myself get emotionally wrapped up in this thing just for the simple fact that is all I will concentrate on. And then I will start to ignore my program. I'll start to ignore my family. I'll start to ignore the things that I need to get done, on a daily basis. I talked to my friend Jake, and, again, and you heard me say it before, and I'll keep saying it again. He is the one person who I aspire to be. He is so excited and so grateful about this living in sobriety thing. And it's no matter what's going on. Yeah, we have shitty days or shitty parts of days, right? But again, it goes back to if we haven't taken that first drink or put any mind-altering chemicals in our body and we haven't intentionally hurt anybody, we don't have bad days. And he was going through some stuff, and we were talking, and it's just you could just hear the hope in his voice, and he was so positive, right? And that's what we need more, and that's why I enjoy having people in my tribe who are positive, no matter what's going on. The circumstances, aren't going to change. It's our perception on how we view those circumstances, and what we do about it. And of course, as men, we're taught. I mean, I'm almost 52, so my generation, we were taught that A, we don't talk about our feelings. B, we hold that inside and we don't let anybody see our weakness because it somehow makes us viewed as less of a man. Well, here we are in 2023, and the studies are out there about mental health and how keeping that stuff in is actually a detriment. So if you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. If you need help, ask for help. And I get that it's really hard to ask for help because at one point in my life, and still kind of today, I do have a hard time asking for help. But it doesn't mean I'm weak. It doesn't mean I'm less of a man. It means I'm fucking human. If there is something that is eating me up inside, I'm picking up the phone and I'm calling somebody in my tribe, because if they don't have the answer, then they can point me to someone who has the answer. And there's a lot of people in this community who listen and not necessarily give advice, but maybe have some wisdom that they have learned through their journey in sobriety, or they can point me to someone who has the wisdom because of their journey in sobriety. Maybe they've walked through the same stuff that I'm going through. Hypothetically, I mean, I'm not going through anything. I'm good, living the dream. But there's going to come a day. There will come a time, because I am human and this is life and the world is the way the world is. I'm going to come up against an obstacle that is just going to get inside my head and just fucking eat me to pieces. And I have to be willing to share that with someone and ask for help. And when that day comes, hopefully all this work that I'm doing on a daily basis will get me okay to do that, instead of flipping out and going into an emotional train wreck like I used to live. For me, this is a lifestyle. This is how I live. Somebody asked me the other day, he said, "Robo, don't you ever get angry?" I'm like, "I've never been angry in my life." He was like, "Oh, I don't believe that." I'm like, no, I went way past angry. I went to rage and wrath, right? And today I choose not to do that. I wake up every morning. I kind of give a nod to the guy upstairs and, say thank you, because I have another shot at this thing. I talk or text to Jake every day, right? I got to get my sprinkle of Jake dust, my daily dose of Jake dust, and a piss gratitude, and I'm ready to go kick some ass. No matter what comes in that day, like today, no matter what happens, no matter what I do, where I go, who I meet, I'm ready to attack it with positive attitude and a heart full of gratitude. And it sounds really flippant, and it's like, oh, well, that's fucking easy. How do you do that? Well, if you read the book, the first 164 pages of our hymnal, it tells you exactly what you are, tells you exactly what to do, and it tells you when you come up against something, here are the instructions. And then it also tells you, if you do these things, these are the rewards you will get. It's not hard. Life is easy. People are complicated. We fuck this thing up all the time. And I was told early on, when I'm reading that book, read the black part, which is the words, as they are written. Not as I want them to be read, right? Not as I want them to say. Read it how it is. It was written in the 1930s. This is now 2023. It's still applicable in my life every day. And I am 100% grateful for that. Just like I'm 100% grateful for you guys. The love and support I'm getting for doing this it's amazing. We got some special things coming up. Fixing to get with Jake. We're trying to nail down this time, and I know I keep saying that, but by God, I'm serious about doing this. Get him on the program. We're going to have, I'm going to interview the No Street Lights guys, No Street Lights podcast guys. They're doing some wonderful things. I got a couple other people lined up to interview, not necessarily alcoholics who are in recovery, but they are on the same kind of path of self-care to where they can help other people with different issues. You can call that branching out. You can call it whatever you want, but I'm really excited about that. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm not 100% comfortable talking to or interviewing people, right? I'm still, 13 and a half years in this thing. I'm still kind of socially awkward. I'm still kind of nervous about being vulnerable, but again, if me doing this can help one person, then my job is done. Then I'm doing a good thing. And I was talking to my wife this morning. It's like, she has so much stuff on her plate. She said, I just don't know, kind of what to do. And I'm like, well, here's the way I look at it. There is a divine spirit or spirit of the universe or God or whatever you want to call them that doesn't necessarily talk to me, right? Because I'm not a crazy person, but sometimes I get pulled in a certain direction, or I get pushed in a certain direction. And I know that I'm doing something right because I can feel it. Not in my head, not necessarily in my heart, but down in my gut. That feeling of, yes, you are doing the right thing. And, I was doing some things, and I thought that that's kind of the direction I was being pulled in. And then it got to where I wasn't really feeling it anymore, and so then I switched directions and went and did something else. And that's kind of how this whole thing started. Thanks to the support of my daughters, and it's just talking to other people. It just reaffirms and reassures me that I'm doing the right thing. But again, if I can help just one person, my job is done. If you want to support the channel, whatever you're listening to, if you give a like, share this, tell your friends about it. You go to our website, recoveryiseffingawesome.podbean.com. We got shirts, we got bracelets, and I'm working on getting hats and mugs and all that fun stuff so we can, share the love without saying a word. Anyway, happy Monday, guys. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy day. I know that y'all got more important things to do than listen to me ramble on about nonsense, but I do love you and I do appreciate it. Remember, treat everybody with kindness and respect, especially yourself. Piss gratitude, kick some ass, and remember, recovery is fucking awesome.